Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. So we only have 2 more weeks of online learning left and for us to assign you activities to do each day. And this week we have some new things and kind of some old things that we're going to go over and review that we haven't done in a while. So you'll notice on my focus wall up here, we have 2 new sight words, come and does. And we are switching over to review measurement. Now I have a picture of a ruler here, but the kind of measurement we are learning in kindergarten is called non-standard measurement, which means measuring with things other than an actual ruler. So it's kind of finding the shortest to tallest or the longest, those kinds of things, and not actually having to use a ruler. But I figured that picture would help you to know that that's what we're talking about this week. In science, we're talking about ocean animals. So I have some clownfish here, like from Nemo, and I have a whale over here, a humpback whale. Now we're still doing silent E, but we're doing long E this week. So there's not very many words that are long E that have an E at the end. So usually when we say long E, we mean that there's 2 E's together. So if we have 2 E's next to each other, they're gonna say E instead of eh, like the sound that it normally makes. So I'll give you some examples when we go into our wonder story today, because you know they always give us words to sound out. So let me find my page here. So we're gonna start over here. If we look on this side, now up here in the picture with the tree, it gives us different ways that we would see long E. So there's an E at the end, like our bossy E or our silent E. There's 2 E's together. Sometimes when an E is by itself, it makes that sound. And sometimes when 2 letters are together and the E is first. So like there's a song that goes, when 2 bells go a-walking, the first one does the talking. So if there's an E and then an A next to it, the E is going to get to talk because it's first in the word. So let's look at the pictures we have here that have the long E sound. So we have a bee. So bee has that long E. We have a slice of cheese. We have the color green. We have a seed that's being planted in the soil. We have a broom that is going to sweep. So sweep has the long E. And we have a jeep. So those all have 2 E's together. A double E makes the E sound. Now let's look at our words down here. Now I said earlier up here that sometimes when E is by itself, it says E instead of the sound. So like in our sight word me, it's only 1 E, but it says E. It doesn't say eh. It says E. Ooh, this is another sight word. See? Another sight word. B. Now here's a long E that does have the bossy E or the silent E at the end. So it says Eve. Eve, like someone's name. Seed. Seed. E. Fee, like you have to pay a fee. Eat. Beet. This is like the vegetable, like the purple vegetable, a beet. And here's another name. Eat. Pete. So this is a new rule for us to remember, that when we see 2 E's, or we see the bossy E, or sometimes when we see 1 E, it's going to say its name and not its sound. So remember what we've been practicing. If you say the long sound and it doesn't sound right. So if I say eh, does that make sense? Meh. That doesn't make sense. So e. So I have to maybe try it a couple of times to see if the sound that I'm saying is making sense in the word. Because remember, the rules don't always work when we're reading. So we may say, well, I know that bossy E makes that middle sound say its name, but then when you sound it out, it doesn't sound right. So remember, we use those context clues in the story that we're reading, or we use the pictures to give us some clues to help us determine what the word might be if we get tricked. Now let's look on this side, and this has our new sight words for the week. So we have come. Now you can see right there that this word does not follow the Bossy E rule, because if it did, we would sound it out k-om. And that doesn't make sense because that's like a comb, you comb your hair, and it's not spelled this way. So that's why this word is tricky, and it is a sight word. So this is one that you can't necessarily sound it out. You have to look at it and go, ooh, I know that word, it's come, okay? Then we have does. This is another one you can't sound out, because listen to what it sounds like if I try to sound it out. D-a-s, d-az. So it kind of sounds like does, so if you do sound it out, it might give you a clue, but it's does, does. Now look at the first picture there. It has a big city. It's New York City. And so our sentence has lots of sight words in it. It has, we will come to New York. Now let's see what our second picture, ooh, it has a picture of a bus. So it also has a question mark at the end of that sentence. So that means when I read the sentence, I'm going to say it like I'm asking a question, right? Does this bus go? Ooh, that's a tricky word. Now, what does that TH say together? It says n or s, north. Does this bus go north? So when we come to those words that we may not know, when we try to sound them out, we're going to make sure we're remembering the tricks that we need to use so that we can figure out if we're saying the word correctly. And you guys have been doing a good job with practicing that in your assignments. So today you're going to get to do a long E activity, and you're going to do your show and tell for long E. So it should have long E somewhere in the word. You're also going to do for measurement, you're going to watch a Brain Pop video with Moby, the robot, and he's going to do some silly things where he's going to try to measure things. And then you'll do an activity with measuring, coloring in the cubes. And then for science, you're going to do a fun activity called What Belongs in the Ocean? And you're going to get to move things into the trash can that should not be in the ocean, because we want to make sure that we keep the oceans clean, right, for the animals that live there. So I hope you guys have fun with those activities today, and I will see you very soon for our 11:30 Zoom today. Bye, guys.